Miss LaFond is back. So Thea, you are back in the States. How do you feel after your Olympic experience?
I have to say that one, I'm happy to be back. The games was the games without fans, so there were no friends, no family. And while people were reaching out digitally almost every day, it's nice to be back and see my family again. And it's also kind of bittersweet. We had a great run. I made finals, missed the podium by 12, 13 centimeters of a foul. But it's amazing motivation to keep going. That was an amazing, amazing Olympic Games.
So you've had a few days to digest. Maybe it'll take weeks, maybe it'll take months, maybe it'll take more than that. In terms of your disappointment that you mentioned, how do you see that? Is it life's not fair? Is it that's how the Olympics go? Or is it, gosh darn it, I was so close?
I think it's a little bit of everything, and I think that's part of the process of getting over that situation. It hurts. I gave myself about 3-4 days, and I let myself cry. I let myself get frustrated, and then a few days ago I sat down with my coach, and we sat down, we analyzed the jump, and we figured out how to not have that happen again. And you have to also, took me some time to realize that it's not that while it was a major disappointment, there's just still so much to come, and it's still so exciting. I've had coaches from all over the world that watch the event, that coach the event, reach out to me and tell them how inspiring it was to see me jump. And I'm hoping that, other young athletes felt the same way. So yeah, it sucked for a while, for sure, but it would suck more if I didn't learn from it and move forward.
And if you didn't go there in the first place, being an Olympian in itself, and I'm not just saying this, it is an amazing experience, and so few people get to do it. So I'm sure you've reminded yourself of that. Just being an Olympian and going there now twice has to be very special.
It definitely is. I went in there, goal number 1 was to make finals, goal number 2 was get on the podium, and I made goal number 1. I'm the first Dominican athlete to make finals in any Olympic event, and almost made goal number 2, and so I am very proud of myself. I'm proud of my staff, my coach, but we also know that there's just still so much more left in the tank. We've got a few more meets left in this season before I take a break, and we've got only 3 more years till Paris 2024.
So you mentioned Paris 3 years from now. Yeah. Have you decided? Can you tell us? Will you be in Paris if it's up to you? Are you going there?
Oh yeah, I'm not done yet. I'm just getting started, and that's definitely the goal. I'm excited for a games that's shorter distance away, only 3 years instead of the 4 due to the pandemic. And I'm also excited for games where we can actually have fans, and my friends are excited to come and visit. My family is excited to come visit and cheer me on, and I think we've just kind of boosted our support for Team Dominica this Olympic Games, and I know that they'll be more than ready to be in those stands cheering me on.
And Paris is not a bad place to be, in addition to all the things that you mentioned.
Not at all, not at all. It's a beautiful venue. I've seen some of the locations that the main venues for events will be. It looks stunning. And I think people are really, really excited for these games. Tokyo was beautiful. I wish, I could go back again soon, and hopefully I will after the pandemic dies down to really enjoy more of the culture. But Paris is a brand new opportunity. It's kind of a symbol of just kind of a renewal in that Olympic spirit, because hopefully, of course, when Paris comes around, COVID-19 will be in our past.
I know you're just still recovering in every way from this past Olympics, but I'm sure you've already looked ahead to Paris. What will that be like if and when you're standing on the podium after the 2 experiences you've had the previous Olympics where it was there and then it wasn't? What will that be like if and when that happens?
I think it's going to be a tear fest. I will be crying up there. After this Olympics in particular, I wanted so much more, and I know that'll only mean that much more to me.
What about the other experiences at the Olympics? It's the competition, that's why you're there, but the friendships, now I know with COVID you weren't able to have a normal quote-unquote Olympics, but what about some of the other experiences? What will you take? Is there one thing that stands out from the experience?
I think one of the greatest things is the tradition of actually pin sharing, where you get pins from your country and you swap them with other athletes from their prospective countries, and it kind of creates almost an immediate icebreaker, and so you have this natural interaction with a bunch of athletes from all around the world, and even though, we might not all speak the same language, there's this moment of unification, and it really helps tie you together. And I think that's the coolest thing about the Olympics, is that it's still a way to meet other people from all different walks of life, to share those stories and realize, how crazy it is that through all our different pathways, we all found ourselves here at the same time.
So all of us, whether in the media or being an athlete, we can all turn into a fanboy or fangirl depending on who it is. Is there someone that turned you into that when you were over there?
I think the number one person is Simone Biles. I think you can't help but to be impressed by what she's doing. She's in the forefront of the Olympics. Her face is everywhere. So seeing her was definitely a moment of fangirling. And also watching the 400 hurdles, watching Sydney McLaughlin and Delilah Muhammad battle it out for another world record, I couldn't help but go immediate fangirl over that.
And what Simone Biles did and what she went through, and then the conversation that she started, how impactful was that to you? Will that be for you and others, do you think, moving forward?
I think that it's interesting how mental health has become like such a forefront topic for these Olympics. And I'm really hoping that young athletes look at that and realize that while mental health definitely is important, but I also want them to realize that this is not like a sign of weakness. Simone Biles is known for overcoming a lot. I mean, her story is insane. This does not diminish any of the hard work that she does. And while taking care of your mental health, especially in her sport, she called it I think it's called the twisties, yes. Where she loses the ability to actually know where she's in the air, and that could lead to a paralyzing accident. And so I think it's important that we acknowledge the different kind of categories of mental health and really get specific to how to get people to get better. I think that it's so broad at the moment that maybe people aren't focusing on the true ways of getting appropriate health. So whether it's taking some time to make sure you don't have the twisties anymore in training, or actually seeking psychological help, I think it's a great gateway topic to really help young athletes and people in general really acknowledge the importance of what they need mentally.
You represented Dominica.
Yes.
I've practiced my pronunciation, so hopefully
beautiful.
Thank you. 70,000 population, only two athletes, you and another athlete, and you got to be the flag bearer.
Yes.
So I'm sure you thought about that a lot going before the Olympics. Now having done it, what was that experience like?
It was awesome, and the coolest thing is I actually got to share the experience with my teammate Danik Luke. And so if you actually watch the opening ceremony, we were holding the flag together, but my national wear, it's called a Wob Duet. It is quite heavy, and it's gorgeous, but it's heavy. And so I'm holding the flag, and I realized that, I'm obsessed with this dress and I want the world to see it. So at one point, while Danik and I were both flag bearers, I let go and let him take forward, and I showed the dress off. And for closing ceremony, I was also the flag bearer independently. But it's just an awesome experience just to be for that moment like the face of my country, and it's just something I never take lightly, and it was exciting, and even with a more empty stadium, there was still the butterflies of walking in and the lights, the camera, seeing yourself on that big board, and of course when it was done, just the flood of support from everywhere that came from all over the world, and that was incredible. Like I said, it was going to be a memory of a lifetime, and it definitely will be.
So were you a blinders kind of person, or were you able to look around and kind of take in and enjoy this whole experience?
Well, for the first couple days, I think I was definitely enjoying the entire experience. And then maybe about a week or so out before competing, I kind of zeroed in. I mean, I talked about pin exchanging, and it happens quite frequently. I took the pins off my lanyard so no one thought I had any. And I just kind of created a situation for myself that was really just zoned in and focused. The cool thing is that I was one of the few athletes that was there for the entire duration of the games. So when I was done competing, I was then able to be more social and really just kind of sit back and enjoy more interacting with the entire experience. I went to the different vendors. I hung out with people from different countries at the track stadium. So I got a little bit of both, but there was definitely a moment of just kind of tunnel vision, and definitely a moment of I can sit back, relax, and enjoy myself.
Now, Miss LaFond, you have a job that's starting in a little bit here. Have you thought about that? Are you ready to teach the kids again in a couple of weeks?
We have to. I will come to that bridge when I need to cross that bridge. When I get there. MCPS school starts. I will leave on August 30th. I'll be checking in with my principal and classrooms in a bit. I still have a few more meets left before that date, so I'll be doing that. But it's going to be a very interesting year. I am wishing for the best. I miss my students, I miss my coworkers, and I can't wait to see them.
What do you think that reception is going to be like for Miss LaFond?
I am not sure, but for me, it's going to be open arms because I haven't seen them in over half a year. But they've always been loving and supportive no matter what I do, and I know they're going to love and support me when I get back.
What were some of the takeaways of being in Tokyo for that amount of time during the Olympics?
I just want to say, first of all, the Japanese people are some of the most polite people I've ever met. It was always just this kind reception everywhere we went, whether it was just the volunteers or even driving out on the buses, and they would line the streets waving to us on the way to practice or way to the competition. And that's just the one thing I took away. And they're just so proud of their culture. We had 2 assistants assigned to our team, and they actually came in and dressed me up in their national wear. I think it's called a yukata, not a kimono. I learned the difference. But the culture is beautiful. The people are so kind. The food is amazing. And the one thing I definitely took away is that I need to go back. And I will be going back. It's definitely on my to-do list, if not my bucket list, to go back to Tokyo.
That was my next question. Are you going back? All right, so I have one more. So everybody is from somewhere, so everybody's representing some area. You represented Dominica, but you're also representing Montgomery County.
Yes.
What was it like? I mean, Montgomery County, for some reason, has more athletes than it probably should, 6 or 7. What was it like being one of the several Montgomery County athletes representing your, where you live and work?
It was awesome. I think it kind of shows this great moment of like kind of intersectionality where, I'm representing a country, but also representing the community that helped build me up to what I am. And I am so proud of Montgomery County. I'm so proud to be from here. I'm so proud to be teaching here. I think that the county just has a great melting pot of a situation where you get experiences and cultural just bits and pieces from everywhere. And what you get is a great environment that's positive, that's diverse, and clearly something's good. Earlier I said it was the crabs. I don't know if that's what it is, but whatever it is, it's working, and I'm so proud to be part of that.
If you find our videos useful to you, like, share, and subscribe to our channel.